Ladies and gentlemen, lend me your ears and your eyes. Diva Divine Light, live from Brooklyn, New York.
With no delaying for what you saying, yo. Said it with my 9 million with the dilly, yo. When I be on my guess I do my duty, yo. While up in the club, like we while in the studio. You don't wanna violate, nigga, really and truly, yo. My main thug, nigga named Julio, he moody, yo. Like a nigga that'll slap you with the toolie, yo. Bitch, nigga scared to death, act fruity, yo. Fuck that, nigga shorty, she a little cutie, yo. The way you shake it, nigga, wanna get all in the booty, yo. With no delaying for what you saying, yo.
Diva Divine Light.
Really my heart to me. Fucking seats what you got for me. Put more than hands with my eyes to see. Still $1 in a place to be. If you really my heart to me. Fucking seats what you got for me. Put more than hands with my eyes to see. Still $1 in a place to be. If you.
You're watching Diva, the Divine Light. A fun-loving, caring, passionate person who talks about sex, celebrity, and real-life issues, and even abuse. So hit that like button and make sure you share the show.
Really my heart to me. Fucking seats what you got for me. Put more than hands with my eyes to see. Still $1 in a place to be. If you really my heart to me. Fucking seats what you got for me. Put more than hands with my eyes to see. Still $1 in a place to be. If you really my heart to me. Fucking seats what you got for me. Put more than hands with my eyes to see. Still $1 in a place to be. If you really my heart to me. Fucking seats what you got for me. Put more than hands with my eyes to see. Still $1 in a place to be. If you.
Here comes the pitch, and it comes in wide. On the combo.
Yo, 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 yo. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. Hope everybody's having a good Friday. Hope everybody's having a good evening, good afternoon, good morning to everyone who's out there. People on the other side of the world who be watching me. Hello. All right. So we got Missy in the building. What's up, Missy? Hey, Shorty. What's up, Cat? West Coast Bella. What's up, Mama? Hey, Hammer Time. What's up, lady? Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and those that are in the back, in the bushes. Hi. So, Rkelly has officially been transported, guys. He has officially been transported. He is no longer in the MCC in Chicago. He is now in the FCI in North Carolina. He's in Butner. Hold on. Give me a second, guys. Sorry. Okay. Oh, this is. I'm gonna clear it this way. I gotta go the other way. All right, sorry about that, guys. All right, so wait, I gotta go. I'm trying to open up. All right, I went the wrong way. Okay. Hey guys, give me a second. So, I found some videos. Wait, is this the right one? Yeah, I think this is it. Hold on, guys. Give me a second.
I almost did it too. That at 25.
Oh.
Of these.
Wait.
So mad. Look, I almost beat it. That's 10 of those, 25 of those,
Oh.
like 20 of these.
Some of those. Okay. Sorry, that's my son. He's frustrated playing a game in the background. So I found an interesting video that talks about the sex offender program. Okay, hold on. And I thought it'd be very interesting for us to listen to. Let me see. What? Okay. For some reason, it's not working here. All right. Well,
We don't have time for any blah 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 blah. Right, and that's how it really ends.
Wait, what the hell?
I don't sound like that, Gene. Sound like to me. Okay. What's going on? Nothing. It's nothing. Come on.
Oh, it's the window.
See, Mary comes boys. See him? It's like he's twins. It's
Wait, is it open? Oh, that's why I put it. Here, hold on. Oh, there we go. All right. Sorry, guys. I'm a little slow today. I really am. Hey, Jackie. What's up, Mama? How are you? Happy Friday to you too, sweetheart. So Rkelly is at the FCI Butner Medium 2 facility. And it's in Butner, North Carolina. And the inmate gender that's in there is male offenders. The population is 1,475 total inmates. And the judicial district is Eastern North Carolina. The county is Granville. Okay, so he's in the mid-Atlantic region of the United States. Hey, Boston, what's up, lady? How are you, honey?
Come on, I ate one, maybe two. Just let me tell it, okay? I told the cops about it.
Okay.
You saw this girl going, but did you ever see her come out? No.
So, in this section of the BOP, the Federal Bureau of Prisons site, it'll tell you the visiting information. It'll also tell you how to send things, mail, money, parcels. Okay. And then they have resources for sentenced inmates. And there they have the admissions and orientation handbook, commissary list, legal activities, and the PRE report. Now, hold on. All right. And there's 3 other facilities. They got the FCI, the low facility, then they got the medium 1 facility, and then they have the FMC. That's like the offices, the medical center and stuff like that. There is a medical center on here, which is good because Rkelly has health situations, right? So he's in a pretty good spot, guys. He's really in a good spot. He's in a nice little place. You know, things happen everywhere you go, but the violence in this facility is low. It's not that high. You're going to have some violence. People are going to fight. Things are going to happen. You know, it happens everywhere you go. So this is where he will be, guys.
You making noise, lady. I'm trying to sleep.
Congratulations on your new grandson. Yes, congratulations once again, Boston. All right.
I gotta go to the store.
Okay. Can you lower that a little bit?
Aliens? Yeah.
All right. I don't know what's happening here. Why is this acting up?
I'm probably pissed off.
Hey, believe me.
Okay.
My whole life, I've never found evidence of an honest to God abduction. It's all just cranks and pranks. Yeah, that's what we thought. What?
Now, the video I'm about to present to you guys, of course, as you guys know, I do not own the rights to this content. This is not my work. I'm going to post the link in the chat to the video. When you guys get a chance, please hit the like button in the video. Make a comment in the comment section and subscribe to the channel. This is the channel called Public Resource Org. And they're going to talk about the special needs offenders, okay, for the FCI Butner sex offender treatment program. Now, there's two parts, but I think the first part is really the most important part, and explains to you the program and what they do and things of this nature while they're in the facility. The second part pretty much talks about the PSR reports and how probation officers and psychologists come about with the PSR reports, and they talk about how to get the offender to open up and speak about his crimes and why he did it. He has to make a list of victims. He has to make a victim list and, you know, talk about his victims and each victim and what he did to them and why he did what he did to them. And he has to open up. He has to admit his wrongs. You know, whether he admits them or not, he still has to take this program. I believe he was mandated to do this program. It's not like he's there and then he can voluntarily go and do the program. I believe in his supervision stipulation or whatever, for his sentencing, he has to do a sex offender program. He has to. So, yeah. So I wanted to show you this video. Let me share my screen. I found it to be very interesting, guys. It was very, very, very useful. This is very, very useful material. Hey, mama, what's up, baby? What's up, Too Strong? Okay, baby. Put your link in the chat, Truth, so everybody can follow you, okay? Anyone who's a content creator, put your links in the chat, okay? Hey, SK, what's up, mama? So, let's do this presentation. Hold on. And let me know if you guys can hear it. If it's low, let me know in the chat that it's low. Okay, and I'll raise up the volume. All right. Seems like my internet's acting a little wacky here.
Nice world. I never said that. I was saying pansy stuff like that.
You're watching FJTN, the Federal Judicial Television Network.
We also want this training program to give you an opportunity to learn more about sex offenders.
I attended the program today so I could take back information for myself as well as fellow officers about the investigating of people charged with sexually based offenses at the federal level.
It's also difficult for the victim to see it as a sexual crime.
We at the Federal Corrections and Supervision Division feel that this is an important issue to be addressing and that we have made it a priority at the AO.
I think this training will teach us to do better pre-sentences, number one, to start the process, and secondly, will help us supervise them by knowing what kind of conditions to impose and knowing more about the offender himself when he's released for supervision.
The client is the community, or the community is the client. So we may be treating an offender, an individual, but that individual may not be my primary client.
We've always heard about this program at Butner, but now we've actually been here and have had an opportunity to see the staff, meet the staff, see the program. So I think it's going to give us a lot of insight into what goes on back here and how we can continue that in the community.
Welcome. This Special Needs Offenders Program is a focused edition in this series featuring the Sex Offender Treatment Program at the Federal Correctional Institution in Butner, North Carolina. In June 2000, nearly 100 pretrial services and probation officers participated in a workshop at the Federal Correctional Institution in Butner. Sponsored in part by the Federal Judicial Center, the seminar was presented by the staff of Butner's Sex Offender Treatment Program. For 2.5 days, the program's director, Dr. Andres Hernandez, and his staff trained officers on a variety of topics, including an overview of sex offenders in the treatment program at Butner, a sex offender-specific PSI, and risk assessment and supervision. So much material was covered in those 2 days that we couldn't adequately cover it all in one 2-hour broadcast, so we divided the program into 2 parts. Today is part 1, which begins with an overview of sex offenders and the specifics of the Butner program. The part 2 of the series will pick up with a sex offender-specific PSI and continue with risk assessment and supervision techniques. Now, if you're interested in learning more about standards of assessment and treatment, let us know through your evaluations. If there's enough interest, we'll consider developing a 3rd installment in this series. Dr. Hernandez put together a wealth of information and supplemental reading materials. Most of those materials, along with a complete slide presentation, can be found on the DCN. Other materials referred to by Dr. Hernandez can be found on the website for the Center for Sex Offender Management, and their web address is www.csom.org. Let's start with Dr. Hernandez and the Warden of FCI Butner, Stephen DeWalt.
Let me once again welcome you to our program entitled Effective Management of Sex Offenders in the Community. This was a project that was several months ago, just an idea, and I'm so glad to have you here. It's now a reality. We have an excellent program, or what we believe is an excellent program for you. We have a lot of information to share. We also want to hear from you. Certainly you have a wealth of knowledge and expertise that we need to benefit from. And I hope today and tomorrow we can have an exchange of information between our 2 agencies. Before I move on, I wanted to introduce our warden. Warden Stephen DeWalt has made certainly this training conference possible. These training materials certainly are possible due to Warden DeWalt's support. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce Warden DeWalt.
Good morning. Let me start off by saying that I want to welcome you to the Federal Correctional Complex here in Butner, North Carolina. One of the nice parts about being a warden and about being a supervisor is to be able to have the bragging rights with the kind of folks who have put together through their professional expertise a program of this type. I think you will find that as you go through the program over the next day and a half, 2 days, that they are going to request a lot of feedback from your point of view in reference to this program, referencing issues, referrals, how it can work. This will help support us as we continue to go forward with the Bureau of Prisons executive staff on exactly how this program is going to work. And again, welcome to FCC Butner. Thank you.
I have a lot of material to go through. We're going to be talking about sex offenders. Now, when I refer to sex offenders, I'm going to refer to criminals. Okay, so by definition, anyone who has committed a sexual crime is a sex offender. I frequently get questions, some from probation officers, some from other individuals, and the question goes, well, this person was convicted of child pornography, possession of child pornography. Is he a sex offender? And my answer to that is yes. He has committed a sexual crime.
little sweets and try to find candy bars.
Hello? Hi, guys. You guys hear me? I'm sorry. I lost internet service. My shit went boop boop, and yeah, I'm going through it in the background with technical difficulties. Do you guys hear me now?
Nope.
Does anybody hear me now? Okay. All right. Okay, guys, take two. Let's start this over again. So, as you guys can see, this is about the sex offender program, okay? What's up, Cherie? What's up, lady? What's up, mama? Hey, Star, how are you, honey? Long time no see. T-Bam, what's up, mama? All right. Okay.
Forward with the Bureau of Prisons executive staff on exactly how this program is going to work. And again, welcome to FCC Butner. Thank you.
I have a lot of material to go through. We're going to be talking about sex offenders. Now, when I refer to sex offenders, I'm going to refer to criminals. Okay, so by definition, anyone who has committed a sexual crime is a sex offender. I frequently get questions, some from probation officers, some from other individuals, and the question goes, Well, this person was convicted of child pornography, possession of child pornography. Is he a sex offender? And my answer to that is yes. He has committed a sexual crime. Okay, so see, these are some of the more traditional crimes, sexual crimes that we encounter in our practice. Child molestation, abuse, assault, rape, indecent exposure, masturbation. These are the more traditional crimes. Now, in the federal system, we tend to see an overrepresentation of a group of inmates, primarily comprised of child pornographers. These are people who engage, as you well know, in distribution, traffic of child pornography, downloading child pornography from the internet, using the U.S. Postal Service to get these materials or introduce them via U.S. Customs. So these individuals do end up in our jurisdiction, in our prisons, and they tend not to end up in state systems. We have this other group of criminals. These are children, individuals who lure children through the internet and who travel across state lines with the intent of committing sexual abuse of a minor. Individuals who pander, these are the panderers, individuals who engage in traffic in child prostitution. Not those who engage in it, but those who profit from it. Recruit children, groom children to, and sometimes abduct children to engage in this type of activity.
So you see what he's describing? He's describing the criminals and what type of offenses that they have committed to wind up being eligible to be at the Butner facility for sex offenders treatment program. So a lot of those things, as you guys heard, Rkelly has been convicted of. So he does fit the criteria and the requirements to join this facility and to benefit from this treatment program. So let's continue. And what's up, daughter? What's up, daughter? How are you, mamita? Sorry about that, guys.
And traffic in child prostitution. Not those who engage in it, but those who profit from it. Recruit children, groom children to, and sometimes abduct children to engage in this type of activity. We also have a group of criminals who are very sophisticated about what they do. These individuals engage in the what's called the child sex trade tourism. Does anyone know what that is? And has anyone encountered these cases? Have you heard of pedophilic organizations setting up tours overseas, in Mexico, certain parts of South America, Central America, Southeast Asia, in certain parts of Europe, to go for the explicit purpose of sexually abusing children? There are some pedophilic organizations in this country who sponsor orphanages in Southeast Asia. And the sponsorship is for the exclusive purpose of having access and quote unquote right to sexual abuse, sexually abuse those children. So this is it's an unknown, largely unknown type of criminal activity. It's very sophisticated, but it has, as you might expect, profound consequences on an entire system that is affected by it. And we also have murderers who can also be classified as sexual offenders if the murder was sexually motivated. So these are the more unusual type of sexual crimes, but nonetheless, these are quite prevalent in our system. All right, so who are they? Who are these individuals? Again, by definition, they are criminals. These individuals may or may not be paraphiliacs. Now, paraphilia refers to a group of psychiatric diagnoses. Para means deviant or away from normal. Philia means sexual attraction. So these are all those disorders, all those individuals who may be considered sexually deviant. Now,
Now, I've spoken to you guys about paraphilia. Paraphilia, like I said, Rkelly is a paraphiliac. And this is what he's explaining about paraphiliac. Paraphiliacs are people who do things and have fetishes, likes for children, use of ropes and gags and, knives, and, some commit murder, some commit real violent rapes, some commit statutory rape. Some of them defecate and pee on people. These are the things he's going to talk about and explain.
These individuals may or may not be paraphiliacs. Now, paraphilia refers to a group of psychiatric diagnoses. Para means deviant or away from normal. Philia means sexual attraction. So these are all those disorders, all those individuals who may be considered sexually deviant. Now, some sex offenders may have a paraphilic disorder, and some individuals with a paraphilic disorder may not be sex offenders. A diagnosis of paraphilia does not require that the person engage in criminal sexual behavior. So there is a considerable overlap between paraphilias and sexual crimes, but these are not synonymous categories. So I want to highlight that issue. These are some of the paraphilias that are listed in the DSM-4. This is the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of the American Psychiatric Association. Pedophilia. Many child molesters are pedophiles. Many child molesters are not pedophiles. Or I should say, do not meet the criteria for pedophilia. Many rapists are sexual sadists. Many rapists are not sexual sadists. Many child molesters are pedophiles and sexual sadists. Exhibitionism, voyeurism, these are people, the peeping toms. And the catch-all category, not otherwise specified. That is when we haven't made up a term, a diagnostic label for a paraphiliac, we make one up and say not otherwise specified. I've seen some pretty creative diagnoses such as pictophilia for child pornographers. Now, there is no such thing. People just came up with that term, pictophilia. I think it's a profoundly erroneous category, but we'll leave my commentary for later. All right. What do these people have in common? What common characteristics do they have? There's a large study, very large scale study that was conducted over an 8-year period. And this is the primary author, Gene Abel, and his associates, Judith Becker and a bunch of other people, over an 8-year period, studied a group of 561 sexual offenders. These are adult male sex offenders. Now, this was probably the first study of its kind in which they assured the inmates' anonymity for self-report. Again, 561 incarcerated male offenders. These are some of their demographics. The range of age, 13 to 76, so really spanning the whole age range from teenagers to well advanced in age, with a median, an average age of 31.5 years. They were, for the most part, moderately educated. So you can say this is not a function, sexual offending is not a function of low education, low socioeconomic status. In fact, 40% of these individuals had at least one year of college. Now, in the federal system, particularly with child pornographers, this certainly holds up, and we probably see a much higher percentage of individuals who have high educational achievement. Individuals who are physicians, who are college graduates, individuals who are in law enforcement. Number of individuals that we get in the federal system have advanced degrees. All socioeconomic and ethnic groups, again, not representative of any particular one. These 561 were pretty much from all socioeconomic and ethnic groups. I do want to mention something. In the federal system, we have probably an overrepresentation by instant offense of Native American sex offenders. But that is by virtue of the type of crimes and where those crimes are adjudicated. But about 48% of all instant offense sex offenders are Native Americans. In this particular sample, about 50% were married. Now, this kind of shoots down that myth that sex offenders offend because of lack of opportunity. They're not having sex. They are socially incompetent and cannot be part of a relationship with another adult. Well, in fact, over half were involved in a quote-unquote meaningful adult intimate sexual relationship. Now, this is a very good point. The majority of these individuals reported deviant sexual interest prior to age 18. I can't tell you how many times I've been confronted with cases of individuals who at 48, at 52, at 69, suddenly have an attack of pedophilia. That doesn't happen. It doesn't happen.
That doesn't happen. It happens from
sexual
young.
interest prior to 18. Prior to 18, that's when most of us have already developed our sexual arousal patterns. And for a person to say, look, I've never done this before, I've never been attracted to a child, and here you find in their possession 10,000 images depicting child pornography, that doesn't add up. So this is a very important finding. Another important finding is that these individuals engaged in the behavior multiple times. All too
pattern
often
of
we get
behavior.
these individuals saying, I did it only one time, only once or twice, or as many times as they have been caught. Well, That doesn't happen. These individuals engage in this behavior multiple times, and they accrue many, many, many victims. This particular
many
sample
victims.
accrued over 195,000 victims. This is a significant number. Now, this is a number that is skewed by high-frequency sexual offenses, such as exhibitionism, such as voyeurism. Nonetheless, even when you take all of those high-frequency sexual crimes out of the equation, this is a very, very significant number. If I remember the data set correctly, there were only 53 child molesters who targeted boys. They reported over 20,000 victims, just that subgroup.
Wow, for
so
boys.
What are the implications
Fisheries.
of research like this and other similar findings? What I'd like for you to remember from this is sexual deviance often begins at a young age. It is seldom that a person will have an attack of pedophilia at 42. It doesn't happen like that. Sex offenders engage in multiple paraphilias. It is seldom, and I'll talk more about this, it is seldom that they engage in only one type of criminal behavior or deviant sexual activity. The instant offense is the tip of the iceberg. Again, pretty much the same. And finally, sex offenders are a heterogeneous group. It's a group that is representative of everyone. Those who are poor, those who are rich, those who are in between, black, white, brown, red, all socioeconomic and educational achievement. All right, this is consistent with data that we have collected in SOTP stands for Sex Offender Treatment Program, and I'm going to use that acronym over and over again. I came on board and took the position of director of the Sex Offender Treatment Program in January of 1997. Since 1997, we've treated more individuals than 93, but in this particular study, we only looked at 93 individuals that have gone through the program. Some have completed the entire phase of the program. Some have been expelled from the program because of a wide variety of reasons. Some of these people are still in the program, okay? We typed 4 groups in this particular sample of 73. Child pornographers, those who engage in this luring and travel with intent. That's my sort of catch-all phrase for those who target children, try to meet up with them, travel across state line with the intention of sexually abusing them. Those who engage in contact sexual crimes. This may be child sexual abuse, rape of an adult woman, anything that involves a contact sexual offense. And then others, these are individuals who are in for drug-related offenses, bank robbery. Not that many, but so these are the numbers of offenders in each group. 39 being the largest group. Yes, sir.
Since this program is voluntary, what incentive is there for the individual to volunteer to participate in this program?
None, except treatment. So this is a unique population.
Nobody volunteers. They're all mandated
now,
there.
Some of them say, yes, doctor, I want treatment. And when they actually get here and we put them through the treatment program and what it entails, they say, well, no, I really don't want to participate in this. We have some of that. There are very few who actually complete the program. And those individuals need to stay motivated and need to endure the process of treatment. It can be very grueling sometimes, coming up with a victim list that they don't want to admit to themselves, let alone to others, to the probation program. None. Bank robbery. Not that many, but so these are the numbers of offenders in each group. 39 being the largest group. Yes, sir.
Since this program is voluntary, what incentive is there for the individual to volunteer to participate in this program?
None, except treatment. So this is a unique population. They do volunteer. Now, some of them say, yes, doctor, I want treatment. And when they actually get here and we put them through the treatment program and what it entails, they say, well, no, I really don't want to participate in this. We have some of that. There are very few who actually complete the program. And those individuals need to stay motivated and need to endure the process of treatment. It can be very grueling sometimes, coming up with a victim list that they don't want to admit to themselves, let alone to others, to the probation officer, to treatment providers, for fear of prosecution and other consequences. I'll talk more about the admission criteria and who actually makes up this group of people. Okay, these are contact crimes admitted to before treatment. This is based on PSI information, based on psychological evaluation reports that we have received. This may also include information regarding self-report. So these are not just convictions for contact crimes. It may include self-disclosure to you as the PSI writer. After treatment, that means after they complete a victim list. This is self-report only. Very few of these people have been polygraphed. So child pornographers, people who are seen frequently by the court as not very dangerous offenders. Actually, this particular group had the highest number of contact crimes, 925 offenses. Very significant. This was, I believe, a fluke. Had we had a higher number, and maybe there is some sampling error here, but I would have expected this number to have been much higher than it was. From 42 to 228, and these are just 3 individuals admitting to contact crimes, and then that jumps to 30. Again, a total of 1,197. Okay, these are individuals of the sample of 63 in the total sample. There were a group of 32 individuals who had absolutely no contact crimes. So this is about, I would estimate, about 40% of our sample had no known history of contact crimes based on the PSI. Of this group, in this group, there were 25 child pornographers. It's a very typical case. Person gets caught for trafficking, possessing, downloading child pornography. They don't have a criminal history. They've never been picked up as sex offenders before. Group of 25, 5 with the travel with intent, and 2 in the other category. These people admitted to committing 429 contact crimes. Now, what's different about this and the other data sets that I presented, the other data sets included non-contact sexual offenses, exhibitionism, voyeurism, frottage, and other contact crimes. This is, in this particular data set, this only includes contact victims. These are actual people that were victimized by these alleged not very dangerous offenders. So these people are quite busy. This is, again, the same data set. The largest representation is child pornographers and contact offenders. Most of these are Native Americans. Another graphic depiction of disclosures, an increase of over 1,000%. Again, this is the overall number of 73 offenders. These are the child pornographers, contact crimes.
What's up, ladies?
And travel with intent, and the other category. I hope you can take these slides and share them. I hope to soon publish these data. There is no data out in the field that supports what we have found. This is a unique program because we have a unique sample of sex offenders. There are a lot of people, so-called experts out there, offering their opinions about cyber sex criminals, and they know very little about what we're dealing with. They're offering opinions based on their gut feeling, their clinical impressions, and what they see is they see a highly educated man without a prior criminal history. There is a lot of similarity between the offender and everybody else in the criminal justice system. A person who's quite good and sophisticated about deceiving and manipulating others, and no criminal history. So the natural tendency would be for clinicians and others to form that opinion that these individuals are really not that dangerous, that somehow it's the internet's fault, or some devious child molester who was sending the child pornography, and these people were kind of helpless victims. Well, what we discover is that while some of these individuals may have pedophilic tendencies, and the internet is a viable mechanism or medium whereby they can further that interest and then they get caught for it, there are plenty of individuals who use this medium to actually further their already existing sexual deviance. It's unfortunate at this point we don't have a classification system for child pornographers. I hope over time to develop one. My advice to you would be share this information. This is public information. There is nothing here that identifies identities. I am more than happy to talk to anyone who will listen to me. So, any other questions?
What about people who are in the BOP for, say, a fraud conviction or drugs, but may have prior state convictions, child molestation? Are they eligible for this?
I'm glad you raised that issue because it goes to what I'm going to talk about next. We have approximately, about 6 months ago, we had about 1,500, maybe 1,600 sex offenders who are serving time for a sexual offense in our system. So that's a little, slightly more than 1% of the entire population. We have about 130,000 inmates in our institutions. So it comprises about 1%. These are instant offense sex offenders. The others, we refer to them by their public safety factor. And this is an assignment that inmates receive upon their initial custody and security classification. This enables us to identify them, flag them as sex offenders in our system, and yes, they are eligible to participate in the program, even if they have had no sexual convictions, and they knock on my door and they say, "Doc, I'm a pervert, I'm a sex offender, I'd like to participate in your program." And in fact, we had one person like that, only one though. That's a very rare occurrence. And
only one.
I think that was even possible. But this guy certainly disconfirmed that belief. They are eligible, and let me talk about those numbers. These numbers refer to everyone in our system who is a sex offender, individuals who are serving time for a sexual offense, and individuals who are labeled as sex offenders or flagged for a previous conviction. I should also mention that none of these numbers here include sex offenders who target prison staff and who target other inmates. That's a very, it's a big population, but we don't know much about that population. We've been in the process of studying that population and developing specialized programs for them, and I'll talk more about that tomorrow. How many sex offenders do we have in the BOP? Well, 1% is the instant offense sex offender. And then we have probably another 4%, about 4% who are public safety factor sex offenders, for a total of about 6,000. Now, these data are from February of this year, and we had a total of 5,500 and some offenders in the sex offenders in the BOP. Now, by region, you may know that the Bureau of Prisons is divided into 6 regions. We are in the Mid-Atlantic region. Now, the number with the highest number of sex offenders is the North Central region. Right here, 1,362. Rate of increase. I've had brief conversations with some of you, and you have certainly talked about the number
Only one person actually volunteered and said, hey, listen, knocked on his door, was like, I'm a pervert and I need help. He said only one person out of the 100 and something, whatever, thousand people in the prison system. Right. Only, hey, LaShawn, what's up, baby? And you know what? That's a good question, Boston. Do they reoffend? Well, according to what he said, a lot of times these people reoffend and come back. But, you know, that's probably the ones that don't want to take the program, or they're in the program for a certain amount of time, then they quit. You know what I mean? I don't know if there's any real results. We'll find out. Let's see if he answers your question. What's up, LaShawn? What's up, baby? How are you, honey? Okay, mama. Okay. All right. So let's get back to it. So he's pretty much breaking it down, the characteristics of a sex offender, and, you know, then he'll break down the treatment and all that stuff. And so he's slowly but surely getting into it. The video is almost done. It's about halfway through. We got about another 15 minutes.
Number of cases, the increase in the number of cases that you see through your districts. Well, we've also seen that. Bureau of Prisons is divided into 6 regions. We are in the Mid-Atlantic region. Now, the number with the highest number of sex offenders is the North Central region. Right here, 1,362. Rate of increase. I've had brief conversations with some of you, and you have certainly talked about the number of cases, the increase in the number of cases that you see through your districts. Well, we've also seen that. In fact, in the past 2 years, we've seen an increase of 45%. Only 2 years ago, our total number was about 3,800. Now we are probably, this is 6 months old, we're probably at about 6,000. So this number is increasing rapidly. Why is it? I think there are a lot of reasons for the increases. It has to do with special legislation and not legislation, but funding for the prosecution of some of these crimes. You may have heard of the FBI's sting operation, the Innocent Images operation. That has produced a number of prosecutions and cases filed. We are becoming a nation that is increasingly literate of the internet, and we're using the internet more and more, we have now mechanisms where people can police the internet and these type of criminal activities through the internet and report it to a central location. This is called a cyber tip line. It's a congressional initiative. It's done through the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, along with FBI and other law enforcement agencies. It's a very important tool, and which has produced in only 1 year 460 arrests. This is from a little over 2,000 reports. And these are citizens, just like you and me, who are on the internet and have come across this kind of garbage on the internet and do report it to the cyber tip line. That goes directly to law enforcement. Any questions? Let me open it up for maybe a 10-minute session of questions, and then we'll break. Yes, ma'am.
You were saying that you encouraged the polygraph, but then you said the 73 people you were talking about, most of them hadn't had that. Do you use it on a regular basis here, or?
We would like to use it on a regular basis. It took me almost a year and a half to get it approved. Then it took me a while to find a vendor, and then it got too expensive. So now I'm trying to recruit a psychologist from the Northeast who is not only a good psychologist, a good plethysmography examiner, but he's also a polygraph examiner. So as soon as I get him on board, if he's willing to come, we'll be doing a lot of polygraph examinations.
Can you talk a little bit about what your opinion is that are the important variables that are getting these guys to disclose the information? I know the tool, like sexual history questionnaire and the polygraph, but what do you think is occurring in the offender's mind so that the disclosures are increasing as they go along in the treatment program?
I guess that's a multifaceted process. It has to do, first of all, with their baseline motivation. By virtue of them participating and volunteering for the program, there is some degree of motivation.
He's answering the question.
Now, for most of them, if we just went on what their conviction was or what's on their record, and we assumed that that is what we're dealing with, and we didn't actually delve into the sexual history and the victim list as much as we do, they would probably be very fine with that. They wouldn't volunteer any additional information. For many of them, it's very difficult to come to terms with their sexual offending history. They have
accountability is hard.
Of emotional energy invested in seeing themselves as not very dangerous. They have lied to their spouses, their children, their parents, their brother, sister, everyone about their criminal history. And there is a lot at stake. Now, what gets them to actually disclose and begin to talk about these issues? I think it has to do, number one, with the treatment community. We have systematically shaped a therapeutic community that is very powerful, has a very powerful and insidious effect on disclosures. The predominant value in the program is honesty. So there is incredible.
Rkelly got to learn how to be honest.
Come clean. Put all the cards on the table. We do a great deal of motivational interventions. Tell them, look, unless you do this, you're going to continue to hide and maintain secrets, and you're not going to get any better. We explain to them that sex offender treatment is not about just sex and deviant sex. It's about a lifestyle of irresponsibility, a lifestyle of manipulation, deceit, a lifestyle of hedonism, a lifestyle of egocentrism. And we try to impact their lives at that level as the context for therapeutic intervention, as the context for specific cognitive behavioral techniques, relapse prevention techniques. Because without that context, these interventions can get quickly lost. The peer pressure in a group setting is such that the offender will come in and say, yeah, I only did this. And he's now 47, and they all look at one another and say, yeah, right. You've only done this once. You're not attracted to children. So there is pressure, systematic pressure.
So he's talking about in a group setting when it comes to counseling and all of that and getting together, he has to be honest because there will be peer pressure amongst his community for him to be honest. Dudes is gonna jump in his face like, why you lying, Rkelly? Why can't you tell us the truth, damn it? We know you was laying up with them little babies because you felt like it because you was a pervert. You sick. Can't you admit that you're sick, sir? I thought you believed you could fly. You need to admit the truth, sir. That's the only way you're going to get better, is admit the truth. It will set you free. Hopefully this treatment program, hopefully he joins it, you know, and he doesn't act like a dick and say, no, I don't need that. I'm not a sex offender. Even though when I get out of here, I got to register. If he says he wants help, I need help. Lord, help me. Please help me. I need somebody to help me. All his friends tell him he's sick and he needs help.
It has already happened because
He might as well get the help he needs while he's in there.
Cognitive behavioral techniques, relapse prevention techniques, because without that context, these interventions can get quickly lost. The peer pressure in a group setting is such that the offender will come in and say, yeah, I only did this. And he's now 47, and they all look at one another and say, yeah, right. You've only done this once. You're not attracted to children. So there is pressure, systematic pressure. We also work with them individually as well as in the group setting to, again, motivate them. We're not looking for self-incriminating information. And in fact, when we've had them polygraphed, I specifically have told the polygraph examiner, do not elicit identifying information, because that is not the purpose of treatment. The purpose of treatment is to, assessment and treatment is to have an accurate account of what they've done. I'm more interested in finding out the full magnitude of their deviant sexual behavior than the identity of their victims. Now, if it's a child victim, I'm bound by law to report that to authorities. And there have been 2 cases in which I have had to do that, call a law enforcement agency in the location, the jurisdiction where the offense occurred, where I have the identity of the victim and I have the location of the victim, and I have made that call. And the offender, the program participant, has been fully aware of that. So there is an understanding that I'm going to be straight with them and they're going to be straight with me. I'm going to hold them accountable, and I will not accept dishonesty and I will not accept deceit. Now, I hope that gives you an idea of what is the climate in which treatment occurs. Sometimes I'd like to believe in my own narcissistic mind that I produce these changes. But these people sometimes come to us ready to change. And we are at the right time, at the right place, with the right people in expertise, and we're able to capitalize on that. These people are not without serious reservations about reporting the full magnitude of their behavior. Based on criminal history, based on the PSI, these people may be very low-risk offenders. But gee, after they report 93 victims, and they report a predatory style of sex offending, sometimes I think that, hey, they should be locked up forever. We still release them. Yes, ma'am.
Why you say that,
Down
daughter?
the line, is the BOP considering making your program mandatory for sexual predators or offenders who have actually had sexual contact with children? I mean, do you think that you'll be moving in that direction at some point?
At this point in time, there is no talk about making the residential sex offender treatment program a mandatory component. There's been some discussion with myself and the psychology administrator for the Bureau of Prisons, having a similar model of treatment as the drug abuse programs. In other words, developing what I would call a psychoeducational pre-treatment module or class that would be mandatory, a type of program that is similar to the 40-hour drug and alcohol education class that we currently have, and that have something similar for sex offenders. Now that has many implications in terms of cost, in terms of identifying sites for that, and we are at the preliminary stage, but we are discussing it. We certainly recognize the need to do more. Okay, take a 15-minute break, and we'll see you in a few.
You heard Dr. Hernandez talk about presenting the sex offender treatment program study in November. Well, that study has been presented, and Dr. Hernandez provided us with an update of the data and analysis, which is also available on the DCN. Now, next, we'll move into the specifics of the sex offender treatment program at Butner. But like Dr. Hernandez just mentioned, it's time for a short break. So we'll be back in 5 minutes.
All right, let's see what you guys said. So Boston's been doing her little research. She said that visiting are Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and 16 years old and up. Like what? I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I think the age of consent in North Carolina is 16, just like Georgia. I believe it's the same thing. Daughter of the Most High said, "This is all bullshit." Yes, he did call himself narcissistic. How do you cure a predator? Well, I don't think it's really about curing them. It's more about controlling their urges and probably teaching them how to use certain type of coping mechanisms so that they don't get urges. And maybe they could go talk to someone and be like, listen, I'm having these urges. I've been having these wild dreams. I think I should get back into counseling or something. I need your help. Things of this nature. Right, Boston, you don't cure them. Right. They try to lessen the urges. Exactly right. This makes me think of that episode of Law and Order where they were trying to cure child's peas and he got worse. For that show, How to Catch a Predator. Oh man. Like, if they already have problems with children, why would you allow them to be assaulted in their facility and end up suing them? Like, let me understand. So if they commit a crime, they lock them up. Right. If they commit a crime, they lock them up. That's basically what it is. So, I just wanted to present a little quickie, real quick, real too. Okay. Talking about what happens in an appeal in a federal criminal case. Okay. So we can learn the steps. As we know, Bonjean has filed her brief. It is in. Now we're waiting for the government to respond. I believe after the government responds, then the judge will look at everything from both sides, and then they will either make their decision or they will call them in for oral arguments. All right, so this is a quick little breakdown of the process. He said all of that to say, then we release them. Right, after their time is up. You know what I mean? Like whether they got 12 years, 5 years, 10 years, 30 years, 25 years, 20 years, you know, after they do their time, they get released and they have to have supervision and all these things come in. But they're going to talk about all of that in the second video. I had put the link in the chat. So if you want, you can follow. I'm going to go back and get the video for it, okay? And I'm going to put the link in the chat and you can follow part 2.
If you've been convicted and sentenced in federal court, you may want to take an appeal of that. And here's a brief overview of how federal criminal appeals work. The first thing that happens after sentencing is you have to file a notice of appeal. You've got to file it within 14 days of when the sentence is imposed or when the judgment comes down. And the courts are very, very strict about that. That is one deadline you do not want to miss, one deadline you cannot miss. After that's filed, you'll have to file some docketing statements, some initial statements with the court so that the clerk's office knows how to handle the case. And the court reporter will have to prepare transcripts if they haven't been prepared before. About 45 days after all of that's done, when the court will issue a briefing schedule and will give you 45 days to file your opening brief. In your opening brief, your lawyer will lay out what happened to you in the trial court, what happened to you before, what was wrong with that, and why the court should do something different, why the court should order a different result. It's a lengthy document, and it will contain a number of citations to things that happened before and to other cases, and will really try to persuade the court that what happened to you is wrong or is illegal and needs to be addressed. After your brief goes in, the government will have time to file its brief. It gets to file a brief too, and they'll respond to the arguments that you make and say, this is wrong, this is right, this is what we think should happen. After the government files a brief, you'll have a few weeks to file a reply brief yourself, and that'll respond to the points the government made and reaffirm the points that you made in your brief. After that, the appeal goes to a panel of 3 judges, the 3 federal circuit judges, normally, who are appointed by the president, and they sit in their job for life. They have life tenure, and they'll look at the pleadings. They may order oral argument, or they may decide it without oral argument. If they order oral argument, then your lawyer and the lawyer for the government will go and you'll each get a chance to argue your case to those judges, to say why you think the case should be reversed or why, in the government's case, they think it shouldn't. And then they'll decide, those 3 judges. After they decide, the party that lost might be able to ask the court to rehear the case. They might be able to ask the Supreme Court to hear the case. And at the end of that process, that's the end of the appeal.
So that's the appeal process. So now Bonjean put in her brief. The prosecutors will probably put in their brief. Then Bonjean will get to come back and argue again. And then the judges will make their decision on what they're going to do with the case, or if they want to hear oral arguments, and then bring them all in so they can, you know.
Now imagine if Cat and
argue their case in person to the judges. And the judges can ask them questions about the evidence and, you know, the conviction and the trial and the victims and all that good stuff. And what she's arguing about and case laws and all these things. And yes, there's a long road ahead for the appeal process. There is. Let's see. Keith Raniere had put in an appeal. He got convicted in 2018, right? It was? Or 19. I don't remember if it was 18 or 19. And then his appeal was last year. So from 2019 to 2022. So it took 2 years for the judges to go back and forth, you know, the prosecutor and the lawyers, the defense team, to go back and forth the 3 times. And then the judges heard it. And then they made their decision. And they denied it. So now he's going for another appeal, saying that the government tried to sabotage him with child pornography and shit. They, como se dice? I forgot what it's called, but like they put in evidence, fake evidence. Yeah.
That guy's never been knocked
Right.
to his back before.
He just said people have to volunteer for the programs, not repeat people. Right.
He can't stand either.
So, Rkelly, hopefully he will get treatment. You know, if he really wants the help that he wants. He says he needs help. Right? He says he needs help. He wants help. So let's check out another quick little video.
Bureau of Prisons, a division of the United States Department of Justice. FCI Butner is about 25 miles northwest of Raleigh, the state capital. It includes the Bureau's largest medical complex, which operates a drug treatment program and specializes in oncology and behavioral science. Among its inmates was Bernie Madoff, who was convicted for perpetrating the largest Ponzi scheme in history. He died at the prison in April 2021. The complex consists of 4 facilities. The Federal Correctional Complex, Butner, is a United States federal prison complex for men in Butner, North Carolina. It is operated by the Federal Bureau of Prisons, a division of the United States Department of Justice. FCI Butner is about 25 miles northwest of Raleigh, the state capital. It includes the Bureau's largest medical complex, which operates a drug treatment program and specializes in oncology and behavioral science. Among its inmates was Bernie Madoff, who was convicted for perpetrating the largest Ponzi scheme in history. He died at the prison in April 2021. The complex consists of 4 facilities. The complex lies on the county line between Durham County to the west and Granville County to the east. On March 18, 2010, the Wall Street Journal reported that Bernie Madoff, the New York financier serving a 150-year sentence at FCI Butner for running a Ponzi scheme that cost investors billions of dollars, was assaulted by another inmate in December 2009. Citing 3 sources, a current inmate, a former inmate, and a prison employee, the journal reported that the assailant was an inmate serving time for a drug conviction who believed that Madoff owed him money. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe if you would like to view more of our videos. Have a nice day.
Bernard Madoff, wearing handcuffs instead of cufflinks, arrived today at the place he will now call home. Madoff, who was sentenced to 150 years for running a giant Ponzi scheme, will serve his time at the Butner Federal Correctional Facility in North Carolina. What will life be like for the former high-flying financier? Here's Brian Ross.
A Federal Bureau of Prisons bus brought Madoff to his new home in North Carolina today after a 34-hour trip from New York. The 71-year-old convicted con man, who once traveled by private jet and wore suits hand-tailored in London, was seen in a blue prison jumpsuit as he walked into the Butner facility, considered one of the crown jewels of the federal prison system.
He's hit the inmate lottery as far as being designated to the best place that he could possibly hope for.
His 150-year sentence meant he could have been sent to a harsh maximum security facility. But Butner is a medium security prison and has the look and feel of a college campus. Inmates start the day at 6 in the morning and are required to work 7.5 hours a day on the grounds or in food services. The one-time multimillionaire will make between 12 and 40 cents an hour. But his former secretary says Madoff is getting off easily.
He manages to always get what he wants and always have control over everything. And seeing that he's going to this facility shows you that he's managed to get into rather comfortable, conditions.
Same thing with Rkelly. What's up, Damien? What's up, baby? He got lucky. You see how they treat him? You see, they still treating him nice. You see? They're putting him in a lap of luxury. He gonna be good sleeping on a real mattress at night. Getting good food in his commissary and stuff like this. Let's see. I got the commissary list. We're gonna look at that in a minute. So this guy was in here, and he was supposed to be doing life, and he wound up getting killed in prison because he owed somebody money. And he's only making like 14 cents an hour.
Still, it is quite a come down from the New York penthouse and the jet-set lifestyle that Madoff enjoyed as he swindled billions of dollars from thousands of investors. But experts on criminal behavior say Madoff will likely find a way to make his new life quite comfortable.
The prisons are full of antisocial personalities who thrive in prison.
But it may be a while before Madoff becomes part of the general population at Butner.
They're very concerned about no harm befalling him. And there are a lot of people out there, from what I'm informed, who want to take a shot at him.
Visiting hours at the prison are very liberal, and people close to the Madoff say his wife, Ruth, may well move to North Carolina to be close to her husband. Even after everything, they say she is absolutely devoted to him, very much in love, just like Bonnie was to Clyde, Charlie. Right.
Oh, Lord. What does that mean for Joy? Joy, go home. Joy, go home. Don't follow him down the rabbit hole, please. Oh, God. You could possibly not be in love with him anymore. There's no way that you could still be in love with this man. He's been in prison for how long? Your feelings should be dead right now. Oh, my God. And this man is broke. He's trying to get his money back in his commissary that was taken. You know? Joy, please, I pray you go home. Wake up. Hopefully him moving right now will wake you up, and maybe you'll say, yo, I'm out, and ain't nobody gonna stop me. I'm out. And if you fucking touch me, I'm gonna stab you in your neck. Word up. So you better let me walk out this door. Period.
So during the execution,
Tell that nigga I'm done. I'm out. Peace.
Law has like a one.
Put hearts in the chat for Joy. Please go home, sis. Word up. Let's continue watching little clips that I got, and then we'll go into the other stuff.
Brian Ross, our chief investigative correspondent. Thanks.
Bernie Madoff, the mastermind behind that biggest Ponzi scheme in history, has now died. And he, in case you didn't know, was at the federal prison right down the road in Butner. He was 82.
Officials say Madoff died from natural causes while serving a 150-year sentence. Last year, Madoff's lawyers tried to get Madoff released from prison in the pandemic, saying he had suffered from chronic medical conditions. The request was denied. Madoff pleaded guilty in the $20 billion Ponzi scheme, the largest financial fraud in history.
Now to some breaking news. Bernie Madoff.
I'm gonna have to stop sharing the screen because I can't play this video, but we can listen. Yeah, 35. All right, guys. I'm sorry. It's sounding muffled. I want to play it, but I don't know if it's going to continue to sound muffled. Should I just lower the volume? Maybe it won't sound so muffled. Okay.
So if I had this,
Because I can't play the video.
it would be a blackjack.
I'm definitely going to get it straight. So, I already know. All right. So, all right. I don't know if you guys have watched this video, but if you would like to watch this video, it's Vlad TV. And it's Ryan Davis speaking with Vlad. And he's talking about the parents of Rkelly's victims and that they should be in jail with him. And it's a flashback. So if you guys want, you can go and check that video out if you haven't already. All right. Okay, I'm sorry. Shit.
There's no place in this world I'll fight and die like an arrow.
All right. Now, guys, I want you, this link that I'm putting in the chat right now is from our girl, Iced Out, our girl, Icy. This is her channel. I'm going to use her video. Thank you so much, sis, for your commentary. She had found an interview with Azriel. And please go like and share and subscribe to her channel, guys. Support your sister, Icy. All right. All right. Now let's check out this interview with Azriel Clary.
I don't know. Important to, like start going into this year on. We just entered 2023. We just entered February. So first and foremost, how are you doing in this new year? I'm doing really good. I feel really good. I feel really blessed going into this year, honestly. I feel like this previous month, my church had went on a fast. So we were fasting, and I think that it was super important to, like starve the flesh the very first of the first. And so I think that it was something that was super important and well needed for me to have a lot of discipline and being focused going into this year. So I'm really feeling abundant. I'm feeling really calm in my spirit, and I'm feeling blessed overall. Like I just feel good this year. Absolutely. Those fasts, they definitely be doing some. I mean, I went on 2 last year, so yeah, definitely excited for you. Crazy. I think I only went on like 1 last year. I was a wuss, but I mean, because sometimes you don't necessarily have to do like food, like you can just do like TV, social media, things like that. So yeah. That's true. I do want to try something like that though, maybe this year. Thanks. So what are some goals that you have with your music for this new year? Some goals that I definitely have for music this year is definitely collaborating with 3 artists. Definitely a female, a male, and maybe a producer. Okay.
And outside of that, I really want to secure maybe like 3 placements this year. I love writing, so I really want to get more into my writing bag and really just connecting more. I feel like with women, female artists this year in Atlanta, I really kind of want to be on the scene a little bit more so that I can kind of connect and network with some of them and really just become friends with some of them.
Absolutely, as you should. Like, who do we have? Maybe the female artist, the male artist.
So I'm currently in Atlanta right now. So I feel like female artists, I feel like here in Atlanta that I would really enjoy working with is definitely Summer or Mariah. I do like both of them. And I feel like if it was a male artist, I really don't know if I know too many male artists that are in Atlanta that are on like the R&B tip that I know personally. But I feel like that is a little bit more of a, I'm kind of open to that. It could really just be anybody, but it's a couple people that I do like. I like Sir, I like Daniel Caesar, Britt. It's a whole bunch of people out here.
Atlanta is packed, so yeah, definitely hoping that you get all those features. So
Thank you. I appreciate that, Evan.
of course. So starting from like your beginning, your root, how did you first get into music? How did you find your voice? How did that go?
I feel like I've always really been into music. I kind of brought music to my parents. They kind of always knew that I would always go around humming and like doing little hymns and stuff. And then I kind of finally brought it to them and they had got me vocal training and I probably have really began taking music seriously when I was about 11 or 12. And that's when we really like went full throttle with vocal coaches, directors, like taking choir, taking lessons, all types of stuff. And I think it was really cool. So that's pretty much like when I actually got into music and I actually started to become classically trained and, study music theory and stuff like that pertaining to music. So
Wow. So how would you say your sound and your voice has changed over that time?
I feel like honestly, my sound, even from just last year alone, has completely changed as of today's date. And I think that that's so crazy to say, but I feel like I'm always in a different place in my life. And I feel like I'm more so inspired by the things around me that I surround myself with, the people I surround myself with, the company, landscape, sceneries. Like I just got back from Africa for my birthday, New Year. So
yes.
like everything is just always inspiring me. And I try to take that time to really be inspired by the things around me. And so for my sound, I feel like it's forever growing. It's forever growing.
Absolutely. So you had mentioned like music is your main focus right now. So how are you learning and working to reinvent yourself as an artist and present yourself,
I think that I have been working a lot on the back burner side of things. Like last year, I really spent a lot of time last year. Like I really wanted to not only just know the musicality side of things because that's easy, that I can do that in my sleep. I can create in my sleep. I can work with people in my sleep and literally just get the job done. But I feel like for me last year, one of the biggest things that really helped me reinvent myself was investing in my own studio.
Okay.
Learning how to record and produce myself, self-producing myself. And really just learning the business aspect of things, getting a LLC, launching a production company, and really just learning about splits and contracts and just really just sharpening my knowledge on stuff like that. So I feel like that has really helped me and it's going to help me a lot, especially with 2023 and going into 2023 really prepared. And so I think those are a really good steps that helped me reinvent myself for this year in the direction that I want to take.
Wow. It definitely sounds like you're like busy, like all around.
Definitely that.
So what would you say some challenges, if any, that you're facing with this establishing yourself and reinventing yourself?
I think that the biggest obstacle or challenge right now is really just still being able to enjoy myself, but really just not being like a perfectionist. Like, I feel like I'm such a perfectionist as a Capricorn woman. Like, we are just, and I feel like this is with any woman. It doesn't even matter what sign you are. I feel like any woman that genuinely has a craft or something that they love and admire, they're going to be a perfectionist about it. And sometimes for me, it's very, very hard for me to realize that this is not always work, but this is also, something that you do love, and it is an outlet, and it's something that you utilize to help others and connect with others. And so I really just sometimes now when I go to record, I kind of try to, I like sage, I'll be having my candles and stuff because I really got to bring myself back down to earth and just take this moment to enjoy this creativity.
Absolutely. I definitely love that. So the sage and bringing yourself back to reality, that's how you would say like you would overcome the perfectionist and things like that.
Yes, I'll be having to tell myself like, girl, just breathe. Like, even if you're gonna go in here and yell on a track, we're gonna do it, but we're gonna have fun doing it, So that's kind of like I just bring myself back down. I take a moment, I bless my session, I bless the people that are in the session, and I kind of pray over the session, whatever it is that's created, whether I choose to release it or not. Like I give that time to God to just use me as a vessel. So
I love that. Oh my gosh, yes.
I really try to be more mindful of going into this year. So
definitely have to, especially with everything that's going on these days. Definitely. So
yeah. Thank you. I appreciate that.
So what would you say the typical day for you looks like, especially with all that you just said that you have? What's the typical day for you?
Yeah, so this year, I feel like the typical day for me is really getting up. I'll usually pray and meditate, or I'll go to a Pilates class or yoga or a workout. And then from there, I will have my meetings. I'll check my email, anything that I have to go over with any type of management, my publicist. That's usually around that time. And then I'll usually have lunch. And from there, I'm spending my evenings recording. If not recording, then I am studying because I do want to go back to college. So I've been kind of just brushing up on stuff. But yeah, if I'm not in the studio come nighttime, I'm usually actually just studying like musicality side of things, whether that's self-recording or bettering, like adding verb to a session or adding a plugin or something pertaining to music, the aspect side of things, whether I'm just watching a Sade interview. It don't even matter what it is. I divide time for that. And I also divide time for like actual school because I do want to get a little degree.
Of course. What schools are you looking at, and what would your major be?
So I'm in Atlanta, so I have been really looking at SCAD, and I have been looking at a couple other colleges out here as well. And I had been looking into, I feel like I know everything about music, so I just felt like I wanted maybe a breath of fresh air. And so I think I really want to go to school for architecture and information systems, only because I now have a production company. So I really want to be able to interior design and graphic design like an actual compound and how I want it to look and how I want it to be. A couple things that I really want to launch. And I really like information systems because it's basically just integrating tech with business. And I like to think that I'm a businesswoman, and I think there's a lot of business women that can benefit from knowing how to, integrate their businesses with tech. So yeah, I feel like everything goes hand in hand.
Oh girl, you are, on it. My goodness.
Yeah, I spent a lot of time just focusing.
So I'm glad she's focusing and doing good. She's doing good for herself. She wants to go back to school. She wants to take up architect and design. And I think that's awesome. Congratulations to you, Azriel. That is totally awesome. You know, focus, change your life direction, do what makes you happy, forget about the past, heal from it, move forward. Hopefully, God willing, you'll have a beautiful family one day, you'll get married one day, and you'll look back and say, I did the right thing by leaving. I definitely did the right thing by leaving. Yes, it's really good for her. It is. It is. And I'm proud of her that she's moving on and she's trying to strive into different little things. She's trying to publish herself. You know, she doesn't want to, have management. She wants to be able to manage herself, own her own shit, and do her thing. Grown woman shit. She's like 25 years old now. You know?
Trump supporter.
The baby needs to get in there. You know? So, yeah.
And really just being patient. Like, I know I feel like everyone has like their own lesson in life yearly. And I feel like last year, my lesson was just shutting up and just being patient. And this year I get to thrive. So I'm excited.
Yes. So talk about your production company. Like, what's the name of it? What motivated it? Like, talk about that.
Yes. So my production company, it is called Rocky Hill Road, and I did create it last year, and it is for music, and I kind of want to branch out into 3 different places. One being able to offer studio sessions and, having writing sessions and writing camps for women here in Atlanta, something more so along the line of maybe something all women based, just so that people can have a creative space for women. And outside of that, definitely the production side. So just really wanting to get more onto like short film side of things. And I really just want to be able to launch like I said, have a warehouse or have a compound or a place to work out of, a place that other artists can work out of, and so forth. I do feel like that is going to be my biggest accomplishment most likely this year. But Rocky Hill Road, that was actually the address that I was born at in Virginia. So I'm a country baby. But yeah, Rocky Hill Road, that is the first address that I ever lived in my entire life when I was living in Richmond, Virginia. So
I love that it has meaning behind it, because some people just be coming up with stuff and it's just like, okay.
Yeah, it gotta come from some.
Facts. So getting specifically into your music.
Yes.
You just dropped your single Wait on Me in December, and you just recently dropped the visuals to it.
Yes.
So talk about the process and the meaning behind the single.
So I feel like Wait on Me, I feel like every single song that I create is really like just so different. But Wait on Me was pretty much about me being in a place in my life where I kind of felt like I wanted my cake and I wanted to eat it too. I feel like it's super ballsy. I feel like it's super confident. And I feel like any woman can kind of relate to that who's ever been in that position. I feel like any woman right now that's maybe in their 20s, it's a lot of people that want to settle down, but it's like when you're a woman with dreams and you have drive and you have, things that you really want to accomplish, some things have to just wait. And that's just the mindset that I was in when I created that. So
oh my goodness. I mean, you hit it right on the nail. Because I'd be like, yes, I do want a relationship. But then it's like, oh, how can I fit that in? So
yeah. It's like, we all want our cake and want to eat it too, but sometimes we have to compromise. And at that time in that time of my life, that was what I had to compromise. So
of course. So with that, you drop singles Wait on Me, Inside Me, Counts of an Angel.
Mm-hmm.
when can we expect the body of work? I mean, I believe Sounds of an Angel was supposed to be an EP. I tried to look. I can't find nothing. So where is that?
Let me be the first to say that I am so sorry because yes, Sounds of an Angel was supposed to be a body of work, but I'm an independent artist, which means that I change my mind a lot, and I'm also still learning everything as I go, so it's a little different. But I am taking initiative to apologize because yes, that was supposed to be a body of work, and I just never dropped it because when I created Wait on Me, it was just really like a different direction that I felt like I was going into. And so I do want to really drop a body of work this year. I'm planning to drop a body of work between spring and summertime. And I really will most likely have about 5 tracks on it and 1 bonus track. So
okay. We will definitely be on the lookout because we've been waiting.
It's done. It's literally done. So it's there. It's signed, sealed, delivered. Just really just confirming everything, getting like the last final mixes, masterings done, stuff like that, cover art, so forth. So
Gotcha. Okay. Well, I'll definitely be looking. Spring, summer. Spring, summer.
So that's what Azriel is going through. This is her venture. Guys, once again, the link to the video is in the chat. Please go like, share, and subscribe the video. I'm trying to it's not letting me attach it, damn it. Oh, okay, let me see. Okay, guys, I pinned the message there. So if you guys please go support our girl Icy as well. Our girl Iced Out. That's her channel. All right. She wound up grabbing that interview. Okay.
Said you're looking for Yvonne. There's something. Look, over there's an abandoned jailhouse. Way beyond the trail. Yeah, it was him. Thanks, Fred. We're all in this together, always him. We believe that those souls that have been dragged to the gates of hell will my tale. I hope that I've never met myself in this place. I'm sure he can still make a miracle. Is our queen, our God. I know he can save strong boy. If we can't count on an antidote anymore, he's his own big chance. Swear I'll fight him, no matter what.
All right. So I got the I wound up downloading the Federal Bureau of Prisons Federal Correction Institution number 2, the Butner, North Carolina. It's the inmate handbook. And in this handbook, they talk about intake, orientation, staff, case managers, counselors, the officers, town hall meetings. They also talk about the daily inmate life. They talk about sanitation, personal property, storage space, special purchase items, legal material, hobbies, craft, food storage, radio and watches, jewelry, quarter rules. They talk about wake up. They talk about commissary in here. They talk about their spending limits. Also their deposits to their accounts, commissary funds, and withdrawals. Then they also talk about security procedures when they do counts, do the call outs, pass system, contraband, shakedowns, drug surveillance, alcohol detection, fire prevention control. Then they talk about programs and services for them, job assignments, food services, education programs, recreation, leisure and social programs, counseling activities, psychology and psychiatry, musical instruments, funeral trips. They talk about furlough, release planning, central inmates monitoring systems. They talk about marriages, self-improvement programs, education like GED, release preparation programs, hobby, craft, recreation, psychological services, sexual abuse, assault prevention and intervention programs. Like we said, Alcoholic and Narcotics Anonymous programs. They have religious programs. Also, inmate financial responsibility programs. They talk about medical and dental health care. They talk about the administration. They talk about sick calls, emergency care, on the job inquiries, medications, pills, insulin line times, pill and insulin line times, chronic care clinics, physical examinations. They do the preventive care. They talk about viral hepatitis, HIV. They talk about TB skin tests, colon cancer, diabetes, cholesterol, the inmate responsibilities, dental services, infection control, risk and factors. They also talk about questions and answers as you enter the facility. They talk about STDs, things to know. They talk about STDs in the United States and what are common. They talk about chlamydia, gonorrhea, syphilis, HIV, hepatitis virus, herpes simplex virus, human papilloma virus. They talk about talking to the medical staff, STD treatments, tuberculosis, personal concerns if you have any, living wills, healthcare powers of attorneys. They also speak in the handbook about the healthcare rights and responsibilities, inmates co-payment programs, healthcare visit fees, and then also healthcare visits with no fees. They talk about complaints, and then they talk about contact with the community and the public. Correspondence, incoming correspondence, special mail, correspondence with the media, rejection of correspondence, notifications, mailing inmate property, release of clothing, hospital administrations, the chaplain, the associate warden. They talk about change of addresses, forwarding mail, certified and registered mail, funds received through mail, telephone calls, inmate dialing instructions, visits at the facility, identifications of the visitors, special visits. Then they also have access to legal services, legal correspondence, their attorney visits, legal materials if they need, attorney phone calls. They have a law library. They have notary publics, copies of legal material, Freedom of Information Privacy Act stuff. They can access stuff from there. Inmate access to central files. Also, inmates access to other documents. They talk about executive clemencies, They talk about problem resolutions, inmate staff, administration, and sensitive complaints. Then they talk about disciplinary procedures, the inmates' rights, time limits on certain disciplinary processes. They talk about probated acts and codes, appeals and disciplinary actions, special housing unit statuses. So all of this, he's going to get this book and he's going to look at it. He ain't going to know shit. He going to try to read it if he gets bored, or he going to have somebody read it for him, or he just ain't going to know the rules, and people's just going to have to let him know what's going on. So they talk about release. They talk about pet policies. I guess this is one of those facilities where you can or cannot have pets. They have a smoking policy. They let you know about visitors' instructions and all of these things.
I mean, if Luffy fought back, then yeah.
Then in the commissary section of this,
He slammed Luffy though. Look at Luffy. If Luffy
they
fought
sell
back,
stamps, ice cream,
you know what I don't get though?
soft drinks, juices. You can only get 12 is your limit.
And Luffy fought him.
They got Pepsi. They got and you know what? Diet soda is no good either. And he's got diabetes, so he should stay away from all this crap. All this crap. All of it. The only thing he should get is the water.
He was forced to do that by Big Mom.
The Pepsi's in the can, they're like 45 cents. Pepsi's in the bottle is 75 cents, 80 cents. They got miscellaneous items. You can get a limit of 6 items. Pens, poker cards, Uno cards, a nylon shaving bag, freestyle sunglasses. They got reading glasses there. The reading glasses are like $4. Okay. The shaving bag is like $7. The Uno cards are like $7, $6.70. The poker cards are $1.65. The pens are $2. You can get safety scissors for $6.70. A small legal pad for 85 cents. A large legal pad for $1.60. Small envelopes, large envelopes. Large envelopes are 20 cents. The small envelopes are $1.40. A wireless notebook for $1.80. 2 pocket folders for 45 cents. An address book. Racquetballs, 3-pack. They're like $4.55. He could get a chessboard for $6.25. Then you got to pay $6.90 for the chess pieces. And typewriter ribbon, like earplugs, hangers. They're 40 cents. Cereal bowl with a lid for 85 cents. A Rubbermaid bowl for $2.60. He gets to get cutlery sets and shit. A clear mug, a 16 ounce for like $2.95. A combination lock, a sewing kit, photo album, small photo album for $2.80. Sympathy cards, birthday cards, thinking of you cards, all for $1.05. He could get Vaseline, chapstick, Bliss sticks, Vicks inhaler, hygienic cleansing pads and tucks, religious things which requires the chaplain's approval, a kufi, an Aztec red bandana, and a yarmulke. Then they have clothings, sweats and shoes and shit. And they sell them for like $15, $18. You could get thermal tops, fleece shorts, sweatpants, thermal pants, gray shirts, mesh shorts, briefs, boxer briefs, quarter socks, crew socks, diabetic socks over the calf, which is good. That should be good for him. He should get those. Black shoe polish, wool gloves, wristband, baseball cap, gray knit cap, knee support, tennis shoes, shower shoes, 54-inch bootlace soups. They got ramen chicken, ramen beef, chili, shrimp, hot and spicy. They got sauces, picante sauce, hot sauce, chili garlic sauce, sweet sauce, jalapeno, mustard, ketchup, all that shit. They got pork grinds for 99 cents. They got prunes for $3 almost. Chocolate pudding, vanilla pudding, Spanish olives, kosher pickles, popcorn, natural popcorn, buttered popcorn, dried pineapple. He's got a good selection here. Cashews, almonds, unsalted mixed nuts, unsalted peanuts, protein chocolate bars. Those are good. He should get those. NutriFit chocolate bars, Lifesavers, sugar-free tropical fruits, sugar-free wild fruit. He got sugar-free stuff. That's good. You know, he's got things to help him as a diabetic. There's no excuse. He could take care of himself if he eats right. They got Nestle Crunch, Babe Ruths, M&M's, Butterfingers, Snickers, all the shit he should stay away from. Swiss rolls, iced honey buns. They got Cheez-It crackers, unsalted crackers, saltine crackers, animal crackers, Chips Ahoy, Oreos with vanilla wafers, peanut butter cookies, ginger snaps. He got strawberry jelly, grape jelly, creamy peanut butter, salt and pepper, sazon. That nigga could get sazon, okay? He could get sazon, culantro, okay? Mrs. Dash, some garlic powder, Italian seasoning, adobo with pepper. He could get some salsa chips, plantain chips, sour cream and onion chips, nacho, barbecue, round tortillas. Then he can get rice and beans and pasta, a limit of 5 each. He could get chili with beans. He could get refried beans, mac and cheese, marinara sauce, a pizza kit, flour tortilla, white rice, brown rice. Okay? He could get breakfast stuff like, and there's only 2 is the limit of each. He could get honey nut scooters, berry crunch, cinnamon toasters, raisin bran, instant grits, rolled oats, granola, cherry vanilla, all those things he should eat, all those brands and oats and stuff. Good for him. Oatmeal variety, oatmeal fruit cream, strawberry toaster pastries. He'll probably lose weight if he eats the stuff the right way. Then they got meat and cheese. You have a limit of 10, guys. And it's between $3.15 up to $1.85. He could get Parmesan cheese, Velveeta cheese, shark cheese, jalapeno cheese, string cheese, fish steak with chilies, tuna, albacore tuna, white chicken, beef summer sausage, a turkey log, Spam, 6 gun beef, pepperoni slices. Woo, he gonna be eating good up in there. He gonna be eating good up in there. Look at him. Look at him. He gonna get coffee creamers, dry milk, a Splenda sweetener, okay? Hot beverages. He could get coffee, Taster's Choice, Colombian, Maxwell, Folgers, caffeine free, even better for him. Cappuccino. He could get a limit of 8 each of hot cocoa, sugar-free hot cocoa, Nestle tea bags, Celestial herbal teas. He could get instant cold drinks, limit of 12. He could get Gatorade, Weiler's cherry drink, Weiler's pink lemonade, Weiler's cool raspberry Hawaiian punch, the orange punch, and also the lemonade berry punch. He's good with this stuff. He could get stamps. He could get a reader's light. He could get a book light, batteries, watch batteries. He could get hygiene items like VO5 shampoo, conditioners, Head and Shoulders, Pantene shampoo. What? Pantene conditioner, Suave, shower caps, a mirror, a barber comb, an afro comb. He's got it made up in here. Do-rags if he needs one, styling gel, pink moisturizer, all types of shit here. Herbal Grow, Sure deodorant, Degree deodorant, soap dish, Dial soap, Lever soap, Dove sensitive skin soap, Tone soap, Irish Spring soap. Wow, Neutrogena soap, all these types. Shea soap. He good up in there, bro. Colgate, tartar control, regular Colgate, Colgate with baking soda, Sensodyne toothpaste for your sensitive teeth, you know. Dental floss, soft picks, hard picks, Fixodent if he has any dentures, Noxzema cream, like apricot scrub. Like, we doing good up in here. Cotton swabs, cocoa butter lotion, petroleum jelly, collagen, St. Ives collagen lotion, toilet paper, antibacterial soap, Chubb's wipes, okay, hand sanitizer, baby powder. He's good. He could get what's the other one? Look at him. Look at Rkelly. He's good. He's good, guys. Diva, do they take EBT cards? I don't think so. Yes, y'all. It's Friday night, and I'm out with my family having fun. Nice. Cherie, enjoy the rest of your night, mamita. I'm about to end this live. Everyone, please get ready for our girl, True Strong Warrior. She's about to go live in a couple of minutes. Diva, you can't get none of that if you're broke. Mommy, he got at least $500 in there, ma. $500 in there he's entitled to. You know what I mean? And now that he's in prison, you know, he's still got his $500 budget, but I'm pretty sure he can manage some shit. The things aren't that expensive. They're pretty cheap. Hey, Flawless, what's up, mama? How are you, baby? I love you, baby. How are you, honey? God bless you. And Diva, you can't get none of them. You know what I mean? So, Black Girl Beauty, what's up, baby? Diva Az is live with us. Hi, hey, Diva. What's up, mama? What's up, Black Girl Beauty? How are you, sweetie? When was that? That interview was oh, well, I stopped posted this video about a month ago. Let me see. Did she write anything? No, but the video is from Hip Hop Daily. So you guys can go and subscribe to that channel. Let me see if I can open this link here. Okay, here we go. Here's the lady's channel. Okay. And okay, hold on. Let me. All right, here we go. Okay. All right, so you guys can also subscribe to Hip Hop Daly's channel. I'm putting the link, the thing and the thing. I'm putting the link in the chat. Okay, guys, go follow, subscribe, check the original video out as well. Leave a comment. Okay. Fat boy, what's up, fat boy? I don't know if anybody else jumped into the building. What's up? What's up? What's up? So, yeah, so that interview actually was done about a month ago, mama. I just looked it up. Hip Hop Daily did it a month ago. Okay. So, guys, do me a favor, please. Don't forget to hit that like button. Okay. Y'all already know donations are appreciated. Y'all already know the information scrolling on the bottom of the screen. Don't forget to hit that like button, okay? Subscribe to the channel. Like the video, please. Thank you. Hit the notification bell on your way out. If you are not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe and hit that notification bell. Hit the like button. Hit that like button. Share the show. Yes, please share, subscribe. Leave your comments. Make sure they're respectful. They won't get deleted, all right, guys? And everybody have a wonderful evening. Guys, please go follow True Strong Warrior. Can somebody please put True Strong Warriors chat channel in the link, please? Please put it in the chat. Put a channel link in. Thank you, guys. And your girl, Diva Divine Light, is out. Peace.